Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Summer's just whipping along. We've now entered the month that has the highest high and the lowest low of the Hebrew calendar. We're coming up on the 9th of Av. It's the darkest day of the year. Now, if ever there were a bad luck day, that's it. It's Friday the 13th on steroids. It marks the day of the destruction of not just one of the two ancient temples, but both of them. The expulsion of the Jews from England in 1290, the expulsion of the Jews from Spain in 1490, the day the chieftains, spies, returned from the Promised Land, the day World War I began, and more. And it happens to be followed less than a week later by the 15th of Av, which is the Day of Love. It's the best day of the year, the happiest day, and the best day to get married on. And what a week of extremes that becomes. You say yes, I say no. You say stop, I say go, go, go. Oh no. You say goodbye and I say hello. Well, we've reached the end of the book of Numbers now. In many ways, this ending to the book is titled appropriately. We're still tribal, no matter how global we often pretend to be. And these tribes set up so much. Freud did a brilliant study on tribal mentality and taboo. And if you've never read it, it's still a valid examination of man. And we're still on a journey, right? And that tells you what the two parts are called. It's tribes and journey. Almost a never-ending journey to a land we only get glimpses to, our promised land. Now, almost like we're all participants in the Bob Dylan never-ending tour. We are each on our own individual journey through life, my friends, to our own promised land. And although they are all, and we are all different, there's still that one thing that makes us the same. It's our need and desire to come together as a group, to honor and pray individually, but while observing as a community collectively. There's safety in numbers. There's a sense of camaraderie, a collective consciousness. When seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love, come together as a true chavura, fellowship, as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unite us all in this community, house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay, even though together. We are always individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her, their own way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody in, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever you want to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Echim Yam Yam. Hine Matov. Shevet Echim Yam Yam. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. We support each other in this community, my friends. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, this is you just setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's part of your kavanah. It's your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you can control, of what you can correct. Your intention sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. Let's take some time now. Use that intention. Send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to everyone that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. Floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup because we have to help heal the world. It's not something we can complete. It is an ongoing task, and it seems to get a bigger task every year. It's for every lifetime for us to do our work. We must each do our part. Each must do what we can to improve and change our own little corner of the world, because as we change ourselves, we change the conditions of life. And we constantly are changing, refining. As we work to understand others, we broaden our own outlooks on life. They heal, and we heal. And a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody who needs it. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. Let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for Johnny and Fern, for Lisa, for Catherine, for Snoopy and H&K, for Doria and Aurelia, for Robin, Mary, and Bill, for Dave and Mookie, for Terry and the D-Man, Soshi, Scotty, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everyone you know in need, for the whole world, and for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Avotain Makor Limotain. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of the body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say. Amen. Mishabert, let us all have our spirits renewed, because this is the great prayer for healing, my friends, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Mishabert, may He who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, this reading, the last of the book of Numbers, and the end of the narrative, is a double reading, as I said a minute ago, Mattot Massei, tribes and journeys. And technically, it's about neither, but it's about both. Our tribes can be as large as we want or as small. Think of the biological classification's 8 major taxonomic ranks, stemming from life at the top, which gives us domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Each is a tribe. Tribes are bigger or smaller depending on how you choose to look at it at any given time. Your tribe changes. Your tribe was your parents and siblings, grandparents and relatives, and as you grew and developed, your tribal definition changed. It didn't really change, but your perception changed. Your view of your tribe changed. Look at the world today. The tribe of the globalist is different than the tribe of the nationalist, but we're actually all the same. And we spend our lives on a journey because without motion, there is stagnation. We're constantly moving, seeking, going, journeying. Energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically. All those are journeys. But sometimes we just do not know where we are going. The people here are poised on the River Jordan. They're ready to enter the Promised Land. But first we got to wrap up a few things, and this little reading has a lot. And some of the things to take notice of are issues that deal with vows, made by man, made by woman, the karmic duty to carry them out. We're reminded that our words have weight and meaning. We've forgotten that and treat them too often as weightless that float along and can disappear with the breeze. It's a reminder that next week we begin the book of words, Deuteronomy. Now, it also talks about the unusual and unexpected Midian war that kind of comes out of the blue, and Moses' instructions for the mass killing of almost everyone, and the division of the slaves and booty, and it reviews a Reader's Digest kind of summary of the travels of the people. That's the journey section, and is conspicuous by what's not mentioned. Now, we see instructions about the famous sanctuary cities and what they were really for, safe zones, to ensure fair trials and prevent vengeance killing. We see the change, almost as an afterthought of the rights of inheritance. And while its intent may have been right, for many it represented taking a giant step backwards. And it ends, of course, with the people poised to move into the Promised Land, which will not occur until the book of Joshua. It is not a part of the 5 books of Moses. Now, next week, like I said, we begin Deuteronomy, the second telling of the law, the book of words. Moses' famous farewell address and highlights of what we already know. So for many, this is the real ending of the story of the wilderness journey. Now we are told there are wars that are taking place. Numbers 31:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, reap the vengeance of the Israelites against the Midianites. Afterward, you shall be gathered to your kin. Okay, he's just been told he's going to die and not enter the promised land. But before he dies, he's to obliterate his wife's country and its male inhabitants, the Midianites, in an act of vengeance. And yet in the same parsha, methods to prevent vengeance are proposed. It can be very confusing, my friends. Now, we are told this whole business about the annihilation of the Midianites is because of Balaam. The same Balaam we read about a couple of weeks ago, who blessed Israel. Now, Balaam's been pictured as a prophet who faithfully pronounces God's words, who blesses Israel, and therefore offends the Moabite king who hires him. It wasn't the Midianites who hired Balaam, it was the Moabites, but the Midianites are to pay the price for it. Now, could this simply be one of those passages edited in later to help justify subsequent military action? I don't know. The battle takes place, the Israelites win. Numbers 31:15. And Moses was furious with the commanders of the force, the captains of the thousands, the captains of the hundreds, who came from the battling army. And Moses said to them, you let every female live. Look, these are the ones who led the Israelites by Balaam's word to betray the Lord's trust in the affairs of Peor. It was a scourge against the Lord's community. And now kill every male among the little ones, and every woman who was known a man and lying with a male. Kill. So Moses is upset because the army let people live. Does this sound right to you? It doesn't sound right to me. That's not my Moses. And the Lord says to Moses, saying, count the heads of the spoil of captives, both human and beast, you and Eleazar the priest, and the heads of the fathers of the community. And you shall divide the spoil in half between those who bore arms in battle, who went out in the army, and the whole community. The division of goods and people. And people means slaves. If you left, the Lord said to Moses out, who would you think this is about? Certainly not people who had been enslaved for 400 years and were seeking freedom and decency and humanity. This is not the first reference to vengeance. We're going to see that throughout this whole parsha. This is community vengeance. We will also soon see individual vengeance. And that you're going to see in the second part of this two-part parsha. You begin to realize the power of words, which is the title of the last book we begin next week, and how you really have to choose words carefully. They still carry weight, whether you realize it or not. You hear me speak weekly, that intent is so important. And here is another of the places it comes up so strongly. So many of the laws are based on intent. The distinction between kill versus murder, accident versus by design. You begin to understand it is the intent that determines the twists and turns of life, your karma. Think of your intent in the things you do. I would give it a great example. Now, the Hebrew word rotzeh is used for both an intentional murderer and for someone who's committed manslaughter. That is without the intent to murder. That's why the intent became such an important determining factor. And things like the type of weapon are considered in determining intent. Because some weapons are designed for death and destruction. And intent was an underlying root in the idea of this whole concept of a sanctuary city. It was designed for the protection of life, the life of the killer. There was to be no vengeance killing, no avenger. And the term used is goel hadam, blood avenger. There was to be no emotional reaction. If someone caused accidental death, they had to face proper justice. But intent had to be understood. This gently winding wrap-up takes us all back to the beginning, to Genesis, as we see the interconnectedness again between man and nature. We see that Numbers 35:33 provides us with this beautiful reminder of what we saw way back when, after Cain murdered Abel. And God said, the land cried out to him because of the blood. So we are reminded, you shall not pollute the land in which you are, for blood will pollute the land. We pollute the world with much of our actions, my friends. Remember, there was talk of vengeance in the Midianite war. There's talk of vengeance here. But here it is preventing it from happening. And while it's often used as a tool for justification, vengeance, both on the personal and on the national levels, vengeance is actually never good. We run the risk of justification, and sometimes in justifying, we tend to give it divine protection. Second World War came to an end. We forgave the German. Then we were friends. Though they murdered 6 million. In the ovens they fried. The Germans now too have God on their side. How quickly things can change. And even the very beginning of this parsha, although it's almost a throwaway thought and immediately turns in another direction, it's a very important reminder for all of us about the things we say. Our intent goes behind everything that we say. Numbers 33. Should a man take a vow or make an oath to the Lord to take upon himself a binding pledge, he shall not profane his word. According to all that issues from his mouth, he shall do. That was so often happens in the Bible. Word is used to mean a larger group. Bread for food, man for all humanity. Words had weight. Words have meaning. And no words are more important than vows one would make. The promises. And promises had to be honored. Promises made were to be promises kept. Your words bind you. Sometimes today we forget the power of words and oaths and promises and vows. Do not give them lightly, my friend. Now, the second half is all about the travels of the people, and it's really just a quick little Reader's Digest geography lesson of the journey from Egypt, listing all the places they'd been. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert, man. I breathe down there, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. But surprisingly, there's some important episodes with their place names that do not appear in the itinerary. Now, surprisingly, the central stop at Mount Sinai, which was quite a long time, it's not actually even mentioned. Instead, only a stay in the wilderness of Sinai is mentioned. That little stay changed the course of history. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this ride together. Men and women equally, so let's all send out love, not fear, send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. Please do learn to forgive. Learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. God bless you all. Have a great week. Week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It is our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. Do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So Do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. Remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere. And work to be present in the body, my friends. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you because you're never alone. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet, health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others, you bless yourself. Love with the heart because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean to you. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. And we each help each other because we were each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Remember to think before you speak. And listen to the voice of God as he, she, it talks to you now. Talked to you long ago on the mountain, telling you how easy the mystery of life can really be. It's rarely the destination that's the best part of any trip, my friends. Usually when you think back, it's the journey, it's the adventures that you took. Enjoy your journey. And enjoy your tribe, and your tribe will continue to expand around you. Happy trails to you. Till we meet again. Happy trails to you. Running until then. Kiss about the clouds if we're together. Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you. Till we meet again. Happy trails, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Have a great week. Please keep exercising forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself and in love and continue to spread a little good word to the world. Never forget you are the miracle in someone else's life. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Bye.